Hey gang, welcome back to the Wilson Combat Channel. My name is Massad Ayoob, and today we're talking to you from the Wilson Combat Facility in Berryville, Arkansas. We listen to your comments here at Wilson Combat YouTube channel, and one question we've been getting is, do we think 380 is enough? Well, the answer, I'm afraid, is it depends. The 380 ACP isn't called 9mm short colloquially for nothing. It's a limited power cartridge whose purpose was fitting a very small pistol. Now today we're seeing a renaissance of the 380 for two reasons. First, that pistols the size of the little Kel-Tec P3AT and the Ruger LCP are basically the size of some of the 25 autos of decades past. They allow comfortable, discreet concealed carry, particularly in NPEs, non-permissive environments, which I would define as some place where it's technically legal for the individual to carry, but perhaps politically incorrect or could be seen as embarrassing or not a good career move. So it's important to have a very small, very discreetly concealable handgun. Another element of 380 choice is people in my age demographic with the crippled up arthritic hands, hands that are very sensitive to recoil. A pistol like the Glock 42, for example, is eminently shootable, 7 rounds of 380 or more, and it's almost like shooting a 22 and much easier to manage. The problem with the 380 historically has been it has enough power to drive a round-nose full metal jacket deeply enough or to expand a hollow point bullet, but not to do both. We found that generally the reason it got originally since 1908 when it was introduced, the reputation for being almost impotent as a man-stopper was that round-nose profile created a puckered, dimpled wound like an ice pick. It would kill, but tended not to immediately stop the way larger caliber bullets might. The coming of the hollow points made them a little bit more dynamic, but the 380 simply doesn't have enough power in most loads to expand the bullet and drive it to the depth of 12 inches that FBI considers to be the necessary minimum. What we've seen with some of the new ammo developments, such as the Lehigh here, this is the Lehigh XD. It's a 68 grain bullet, and it's rated for 1,100 feet per second from a 3.8 inch barrel. What you're working with here is not bullet expansion, but fluid displacement. And it looks as if, based on the testing, it's going to combine a significantly wide wound track for incapacitation with the adequate penetration of the solid projectile. Time will tell. There's not enough of them out there now to really have a database from actual shootings. In fact, I haven't found any. That said, if I was limited to the 380 for the reasons of requiring very mild recoil due to hand injuries, etc., or the very tiny, very flat pistol, I would certainly explore using this type of ammunition. With any pistol and any duty ammo, you want to get as much of those duty rounds through the gun as possible to make sure that it is going to cycle for you. And you want to make sure that if you have debilitated hands, that it's going to work with a relaxed grip, which means you've got a lot of ammo through it to make sure it's going to work 100%. Not all of it just like this, but occasionally with the hand like this, because it might be that way when you need it for real. Some attackers obviously are tougher than others. Looking through my own case files where I've been involved as an expert witness, we had one where a almost 300-pound man in a state of rage was charging the defender. The defender fired one shot from an AMT backup 380 Winchester ball and struck him exactly right. The bullet struck the top of the heart where the aorta was branching and went into the thoracic spine, severed the spinal cord, and the man dropped like a rock and did not survive. On the other end of the spectrum, one of my graduates had to shoot an assailant. This guy was about 180 pounds. The guy was coming at him, attempting to disarm and murder him. He had to shoot him 7 times with a SIG P230 380, jacketed hollow points. The guy finally stopped charging at him, was breathing heavily, put his hands on his thighs like he was catching his breath, sat down, lay down, and didn't get back up. That officer, of course, was cleared in the self-defense shooting, and that, I think, was the last time he carried a .380 as his primary gun. You can see that really across the board with some of the more powerful rounds as well. Remember, a whole lot of the stopping power element is not going to be quantifiable because it's in the body and the mind of your opponent, not in the ballistics of your firearm. That said, the less powerful the gun, the less trauma it's going to cause. Trauma and damage to the organism that is trying to murder you is what we need to achieve to make that organism stop trying to murder you. And the .380 is generally considered to be at the bottom edge of acceptable so-called stopping power. It's significant that police departments in America do not issue them as, that is, do not issue .380s as primary service pistols. Now, obviously, the armed citizen is not a police officer, but one thing we learn from law enforcement is that they are the resident professionals in dealing with the exact same violent criminals the citizen has armed himself or herself to protect themselves and their family from. Personally, I'm not comfortable with any auto pistol smaller than 9mm as a primary gun, but I get to dress like a slob if I want, and I'm not in a non-pervasive environment most of the time. The .380 may be the best choice for you in certain situations. If so, use the best and most effective ammunition you can. The less powerful the cartridge, the more important the choice of ammunition is. There are X number of law-abiding concealed carry needs that are met by that style of pistol better than some others. Life is a compromise, and so is .380 ACP. We wish you the best of luck out there. Please subscribe to the Wilson Combat channel, and we're looking for your commentary. It's from your commentary that episodes like this derive. We'll see you down the road. Thanks for watching.